Returning now to one of our top stories in Sydney, where police are investigating another anti-Semitic attack, this time though at a daycare centre. Joining me live is CEO of the New South Wales Jewish Board of Deputies, the representative roof body for New South Wales Jewish community, Michele Goldman. Michele, thank you for your time. I wish it was under better circumstances that we'd be speaking. I mean, enough is enough, and it's only a matter of time before someone is really injured here or even killed. Do you have a message for the Prime Minister?
Yeah, look, we welcome the National Cabinet that has finally been called this morning. We wish it had been done so earlier, but clearly there is an escalation in these incidences, and we need it to be the top priority at the moment to tackle this disturbing rise in anti-Semitism, this anti-Semitic crisis that we're facing, and a strong, coordinated process amongst all our government and law enforcement agencies will certainly help.
I mean, attacking a childcare centre is beyond belief here, the worst of the worst. What does that represent to you?
Yeah, it's just so sad and so disturbing. Innocent children who've really done nothing to harm anyone, who have no hate in their hearts. It's really pure evil to be attacking a childcare centre. So, I mean, we've seen synagogues firebombed, we've seen homes graffitied, we've seen cars defaced, but this just takes it to another level to be targeting innocent children and their caregivers.
Yeah, and I think the most powerful word you used there was evil, and children are innocent in all of this. So abhorrent. The Prime Minister will now convene, as you mentioned, a national cabinet. The coalition, though, called for this last November. What are your thoughts on this, and should it have taken this attack on a childcare centre to finally listen to what so many, including from the Jewish community, have been calling for such a long time?
Yeah, look, sadly, anti-Semitism is the oldest form of hatred, and Jewish people have understood for some time where the hate speech that has been allowed to perpetuate, which has been enabled due to the lack of strong consequences. We knew where this would lead. We could see where it was going. And so it is unfortunate that the call for a national cabinet wasn't heeded earlier, but we are where we are, and we're pleased that the Prime Minister has made the call today, and that the priority and focus and investment of resources is being escalated proportionally to the escalation in the incidences that we're seeing across the community, which are not just affecting the Jewish community, but which are spilling over, and ordinary Australians are waking up feeling unsecure, unsure of what they're going to face.
Well, this behaviour aims to divide, doesn't it? Are you concerned at the moment if action isn't taken? What happens then?
I think we've been really we've really welcomed the calls of support from so many Australians, from religious leaders, from ordinary Australians who are just disgusted and appalled at what's happening. What I would really encourage people to do is to speak up, and we need to come together united as Australians to say enough is enough, and this is un-Australian, and we don't accept our values, the cohesion with which we've lived our lives being undermined in this way. We need to come together united, and we need to continue to increase resources as needed until this is effectively tackled, and until the people who are committing these crimes are caught and are punished proportionately.
Yesterday, Peter Dutton was speaking about a suite of new measures to deter people from performing these acts of hatred, including tougher penalties for those who do, including mandatory minimum jail terms. Is that something you support, and do you think that would be enough?
Fortunately, we've seen too many people, even when they have been caught, go away unpunished. And it's obviously not deterring others who have been emboldened. I mean, these are really brazen attacks that we're seeing. So mandatory minimum sentencing is something we absolutely do support. We need to ensure that the punishment is relative to these hateful crimes. And let's call it out for what it is. It is domestic terrorism in our streets at a level Australians have not seen before. So mandatory minimum sentencing will obviously help to do so.
So what are you hoping? I mean, the National Cabinet is obviously convening today. We do have to wrap things up now, but I lastly want to get your thoughts on what are you hoping to hear from the Prime Minister after that meeting?
A coordinated plan between the federal government and our state governments to ensure that all the resources across all of our governments and our agencies are coordinated in a way that we can tackle what is an escalating crisis in anti-Semitism.
Michele, thank you as always for your time on this. I really appreciate it. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.